Today on Special Delivery, Misunderstood Monsters. And later, today's special live on stage.
Kelly. One. Please, Kelly. Come on, stay. Okay, fine. You're my right field.
Here, you can hold the ball, Shorty.
Fine choice. You left me with Jace. Hurry up. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Arthur. Man, what about me? Next time, okay, Stanley? That's what you said last time. You never picked me because you're too small and you always drop the ball. But you picked her. The only thing you ever caught was a cold. Go and pound your piano puss. I can catch just as good as you can. And who ever heard of a shrimp that can play baseball? Anyway, Stanley the shrimp, 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 monster. Oh, what did you do? What did you do? Oh, you sorry. Oh, no, look. Mommy, all you gotta do is fix it up. Here, don't cry. Mommy. Bring this up a little bit like this.
Oh. What do you think you're doing?
I was just trying to help.
What an awful thing to do. You should be ashamed of yourself.
But I was just...
Monster, picking on little girls like that. What's the matter with you?
I was just trying to...
Darling, let's get away from him.
Gee, maybe I am a monster. You too? Yeah, well, you're not so terrific yourself. I mean, you're ugly and your ears stick out. You're not so tough. Oh, no!
You're not an owl, Stanley. Speak up.
Who are you?
I am the spokesman for the misunderstood, guide for the misguided. You can call me sir.
Yes, sir. Where am I?
You're between where you want to be and not where you should be. In other words, Stanley, nowhere.
Yeah, well, what do you know?
I know everything.
Sorry.
You're angry, Stanley, aren't you? You feel everyone thinks you're a monster, that you're strange and different.
Maybe I am.
Is it because you're an odd size?
I'm a shrimp, you mean?
Negative thinking, Stanley. Is it because you play the piano?
They call me Piano Puss.
Again, negative thinking. Being negative isn't the answer. I can help you. Stanley, my boy, let me tell you a little story. It all has to do with attitude. That's the key to success. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's how you feel about yourself that's important. Look Look at me. You think I had it easy? Forget it. I suffered plenty.
Yeah, I guess you're a monster too, huh?
Don't ask. But you're lucky, Stanley. Stephen Cosgrove wrote a book about what it's like to be a monster. It's called Creole.
Who's that?
That's Creole.
He sure is ugly.
She, Stanley, and it's what's inside that counts. You'll see.
On a foggy, foggy morning in the land of the swamp, from a battered, speckled egg, Creole was born.
Joy, joy, joy! Joy, joy, joy! Oh, life is so wonderful. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Creole had the most beautiful heart that had ever beat anywhere in the world.
Ooh, maybe I should share my love and happiness with the other creatures of the swamp. Oh, yes. Yoo-hoo! Hi, my name is Creole. I want to talk to you about love, happiness, and tenderness.
Hey, you've got warts on your fingers and warts on your toes, bony-pointed knees and a big flat nose.
Did you ever see anything that bad and so ugly?
Well, I've seen things that fat. I've seen things that ugly. But I've never seen one thing both that fat and that ugly. Both.
Creole, you're so ugly, you must be awfully mean. Good God!
Why won't anyone listen to me? The only thing I want in the whole world is just to have someone to tell my happy thoughts
Hey, what's going? Why are you, for heaven's sake, why are you crying on me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were down there. The last thing I wanted to do in the whole world was to hurt someone. Why didn't you run away? Like everyone else?
Because I hope, that is, well, I was thinking, it would be nice. Oh, gosh, I mean, if you would be my, friend. The other alligators all laugh at me because you know, I can't talk straight.
Oh, that's just because you have too many ideas in your head at once. If you'll just concentrate on one thing at a time, you'll find you can talk straight just like everybody else.
Creole and the alligator looked into each other's eyes and realized that they were just what each of them was looking for. A friend.
You know, it's too bad you and I don't have more friends. I wonder what we could do to convince the other creatures not to laugh at you and not to be afraid of me. I know what we shall do. I can hide behind a big bush and you can stand in front. When all the animals have gathered around, you can tell them about love and happiness.
But I don't think I can. How am I gonna...
Don't worry. I'll tell you what to say. Come on now. Don't be afraid. Come on, give it a try. Go ahead. You'll be all right.
May I have your attention? I got something. I mean, oh gosh, oh.
Now don't be afraid, my little friend. Just speak about one thing at a time.
Everybody, gather, everybody,
Tell them your heart is full of love for all creatures.
Huh? Oh, yes. My heart is full of love for all creatures, big and small.
Gee, that's nice.
Yeah.
Tell them about beauty.
Oh, yes. Hey, everybody, have you ever noticed the beauty of the early morning dawn? And the beauty of the sunset over the swamp?
We have. Tell them about friendship.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you about friendship. It is most important to think of everyone as an equal member of society. We are all brothers under the skin, you know.
Very nice sentiment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, certainly. A life without friends is a life without meaning. The animals were all amazed at what the alligator was saying and how clearly he was saying it. For, you see, whenever the alligator had a clear idea of what he wanted to say, he didn't hesitate or stutter at all.
Tell them about tenderness.
Yikes! Run as fast as you can. The ugly monster is back.
Wait! We just want to be your friends.
Stop! Creole is my friend! She would never hurt anyone!
Perhaps we should believe him, for his ugly friend, Creole, has stopped him from stuttering.
Creole, all my fellow creatures of the swamp are sorry for the way they treated you. If you will forgive them, they would love to hear you talk of all the happiness in your heart.
Well, gee, that's wonderful. Gather round, everybody, and let me give each of you a great big hug. Oh, joy! Life is so wonderful. Stop! You're tickling me. Oh, love, happiness, tenderness.
Well, Stanley, what do you think?
I want to go home.
Stanley, I'm losing my patience with you. You're not even trying. If you don't care, I don't care.
But I do care.
Well, then do something about it.
Like what?
Learn to accept who you are, and don't try to be somebody you aren't.
Is that all?
If you feel good about yourself, others will feel good about you, too. You have a lot to offer, Stanley.
You're right. I'm not really a bad guy, you know?
Oh, you're making progress, Stanley, but that's just part of it.
There's more.
You need a lot of work. I suggest you stick around.
Special Delivery will be back after these messages. We now return to Misunderstood Monsters.
Excuse me for saying this, but that's really terrible.
Terrible? What do you mean, terrible? I think it's terrific.
Well, it's not.
I suppose you can do better.
I know I can. I've been taking lessons for 5 years. Watch me.
Not bad. If you practice more, it would be even better.
Oh, yeah? How do you know?
Because I know everything. Must I continually remind you of that?
Sorry, I forgot. Well, you were right about my piano lessons. I have kind of been goofing off lately.
You mean playing baseball, trying to be one of the gang?
What's wrong with that? Doesn't everybody want to belong?
Stanley, you can do something they can't. You can play the piano.
Big deal.
It is a big deal. That's what makes you special.
You're the only one who thinks so. All the guys make fun of me.
I've got a book here that's going to show you how to be what you want to be, and not what you think other people expect you to be.
What's it called?
The Reluctant Dragon by Kenneth Graham. Know anything about dragons?
Only that they're horrible beasts who run around breathing fire and eating people.
Ever meet one?
Of course not.
Then how do you know what dragons are really like?
That's what I've heard.
That's the trouble, Stanley. We tend to judge people without taking the time to know them. Let me show you what I mean.
Long ago, in a cottage halfway between an English village and the edge of the downs, a shepherd lived with his wife and their little son. The little boy, when he wasn't helping his father, spent much of his time reading. His favorite books were fairy tales and natural history.
I just saw him. He was sticking halfway out of that cave up on the downs.
Saw who?
Why, him. I'm telling you, he was as big as 4 cart horses, and he was all covered with shiny scales. And when he breathed, there was a flicker. You see a flicker over his nostrils if it flicked. And he had claws, great big claws, and a tail for certain. Oh.
It's all right, Father. Don't you worry. It's only a dragon.
Only a dragon? What do you know about it?
You know about sheep and weather and things, and I know about dragons. In the morning, I'll go up and have a talk with him.
A dragon indeed.
The next morning, true to his word, the boy walked up the road that led to the summit of the downs.
None of my books ever told me the dragons purred. Hello, dragon.
Oh, now don't you hit me, and don't throw stones or squirt water or anything. I won't have it.
I'm not going to hit you. I've simply looked in to ask how you were. But if I'm in the way, I can easily leave.
No, don't go off in a huff. Fact is, it gets a trifle dull up here at times.
Are you planning to make a long stay here?
Well, it seems like a nice enough place, but one must look about and consider before settling down. Besides, I'm such a lazy fellow.
Lazy? A dragon lazy? You surprise me.
Oh, it's the sad truth. You see, all the other dragons are so active, chasing knights all over the place, devouring damsels, going on generally. But with me, it's my mind that's active. Always occupied, I assure you.
What's your mind always occupied about?
Did you ever, just for fun, try to make up poetry?
Of course I have. And some of it's quite good. Only no one here cares about it.
My own case exactly. Now, you've got culture. You have. I can see that. I should like your candid opinion about some little things I've written.
Gee, I'm pretty busy today.
Well, could you come up and dine tomorrow?
Thanks awfully, but I'm afraid my parents might not approve.
Why not?
Because there's no getting over the fact that you're a dragon, is there? You're an enemy of the human race, you see.
Haven't got an enemy in the world.
I really wish you'd try and grasp the situation properly. You're a scourge and a pest and a horrible monster.
Not a word of truth in it. My character will bear the strictest investigation. Here, just take a look at this sonnet I've been working on.
Oh, if you won't be sensible, I'm going home.
Goodbye.
The boy found it simple to set his parents' mind at ease about his new friend. Since they considered him an expert in such matters, they accepted his word without a murmur. What the boy had feared, however, soon came to pass.
It's all up, Dragon. He's coming. He's here. What are you going to do now?
Don't be violent, boy. Sit down and get your breath. Now, perhaps you'll be good enough to tell me who's coming.
That's right. Take it coolly. I hope you'll be half as cool when I'm through with my news. It's only St. George who's coming. That's all. Of course you can lick him, a great big fella like you. But I thought I'd warn you anyway.
Oh, dreary me. Oh, this is too lovely. Oh, I won't see him. And that's final.
Well, you'll have to see him, because he's sure to be around. And he's got the longest, wickedest spear you ever did see.
Look, I don't want to know the fellow at all. I'm sure he's not nice. You must tell him to go away at once, please.
You've got to fight him sometime or other, because he's St. George and you're the dragon.
My dear little man, just understand once and for all that I can't fight, and I won't fight. I've never fought in my life, and I'm not going to begin now just to give you a Roman holiday.
But if you don't fight, he'll cut your head off.
Oh, I think not. You'll be able to arrange something. I've every confidence in you. Just run along and make it all right. Oh, there's a dear chap.
But...
I leave it entirely up to you. Go on now. Go on.
The boy went back to the village in a state of great despondency. His dear friend the dragon hadn't shown up in the heroic light he would have liked. And whether the dragon was a hero at heart or not, it made no difference. For St. George was sure to cut his head off.
Well, what do you think of dragons now?
I guess I was wrong. Not all dragons are the same.
Not all people are the same either.
Yeah, some are short and play the piano.
Come here, Stanley.
Yes, sir?
How many times must I tell you? Think positive! Now look at what you made me do. You know, Stanley, you can be whatever you want to be if you work at it. What would you really like to be?
I'd like to be a composer, like Beethoven.
Or Mozart?
Or Chopin.
Or maybe even Finkel.
Who's Finkel?
He's a friend of mine, plays the piano just like you do. You'll hear about him someday.
Oh, yeah, sure. Could I see the end of the reluctant dragon?
Of course, that's why you're here.
Is he gonna fight St. George?
Let's find out.
For an hour, the villagers regaled St. George with false tales of murder and theft and wrong.
May I come in, St. George? I want to talk to you about this little matter of the dragon.
Yes, come in, boy. You have another tale of misery and wrong to tell?
Nothing of the sort, really. There's a misunderstanding somewhere, and I want to put it right. This is a good dragon.
Oh, I'm sure he's an excellent fighter and has the strength typical of his horrible tribe.
But he's not horrible. I tell you, he's a good dragon and a friend of mine. He's so trustful. He's simple as a child.
I like a fella who sticks by his friends. But all evening I've been listening to tales of murder and theft and wrong. I'm afraid that your friend, in spite of his qualities, must be speedily exterminated.
Oh, our villagers are the biggest storytellers in the country, St. George. All they want is a fight. They love fights. The fact is, nobody can help liking this dragon once they know him.
Well, perhaps I've misjudged the animal. But here we are, almost face to face, each supposed to be thirsting for the other's blood. I don't see any way out of it.
I don't suppose you could be persuaded to go away quietly, could you?
Impossible. Quite against the rules.
Well, would you mind going up with me to see the dragon and talk it over?
Well, that's highly irregular, you know. But it does seem to be the most sensible thing to do. Cheer up, lad. Perhaps there won't have to be a fight after all.
I've brought a friend to see you, Dragon.
What?
This is St. George. We've come to talk things over.
Oh, so glad to meet you, St. George. Charming weather we're having, isn't it?
Listen, Dragon, I think we should try to come to some understanding about this little affair of ours.
Oh, yes. I agree.
Don't you think the simplest plan would be just to fight it out, according to the rules, of course, and let the best man win?
Oh, yes, do, Dragon. It'll save such a lot of bother.
My young friend, you be quiet. Believe me, St. George, this whole thing's nonsense. There's absolutely nothing to fight about. And I'm not gonna do it.
Supposing I make you.
You can't. I'd go into my cave, you'd get sick of waiting, and as soon as you'd gone, why, I'd simply come out again.
Oh.
But there's gotta be a fight of some sort.
I've got an idea. Maybe I could spear you someplace where it wouldn't hurt. For example, now, it couldn't hurt you much here.
Oh, you're tickling me, George. Oh, that place won't do at all.
Well, how about your neck? All those folds of skin I can't... If I speared you there, you'd never even know I've done it.
You're sure you can hit just the right place?
Of course I can. You leave that to me.
Well, I suppose we've got to trust somebody as we go through life, and your plan seems as good as any.
Now remember, Dragon, you'll have to do your proper share of the fighting, and I mean ramping and breathing fire and all that.
Well, I can ramp all right, but as to breathing fire, it's surprising how easily one gets out of practice. Oh, well, I'll do the best I can. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to relax for a while before our battle. Good night.
Special Delivery will be back after these messages. We now return to Misunderstood Monsters.
The next morning, the people were all securely in their places, awaiting the start of the battle.
Now then, Dragon, where are you?
Oh, well done, Dragon, well done. I didn't think he had it in him.
You met your match this time, Dragon.
Dragon, are you all right?
A piece of cake.
Ain't you gonna cut his head off, St. George?
No, not today. You see, that can be done anytime. There's no hurry at all. Now, everybody, let's all go down to the village, to the banquet. I'll give him a good talking to. And you'll find he'll be a very different dragon.
St. George was happy because there'd been a fight and he hadn't had to kill anybody. He really didn't like killing, though he generally had to do it. At the banquet, he made a speech and told everyone they shouldn't be so fond of fights, because next time they might have to do the fighting themselves, which would not be the same at all. Also, he told them the dragon liked it there and planned on settling down, and that they must make friends with him and accept him as a welcome addition to their community.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Now I get it. I can be my own person. The dragon proved it to me.
Exactly.
I can play the piano, be what I want to be.
Precisely.
Where's the door? I'm leaving.
Not yet, you're not.
No?
No. It's one thing to know what you want. It's another to know how to get it. There's one more book I want you to read, Stanley. It's in a very special place. Follow me. Ta-da! Here we are.
This doesn't look any different than the other place.
Well, maybe you're right. Somehow it always looked different to me. Now, here's the last book, Beauty and the Beast.
I know that story.
A lot of people do. It's a well-known story. Mariana Mayer wrote this version.
But the Beast didn't play the piano.
Stanley, the Beast doesn't have to play the piano. It's what he is and how he handles his problem that's important. Pay attention.
There once was a wealthy merchant who lost all the ships he owned in a terrible storm. He was forced to move to a small house in the country with his 3 daughters. The merchant and his youngest daughter, Beauty, worked in the fields. His 2 eldest daughters did nothing but complain. One day a friend arrived from the city with news that some of the merchant's ships had washed up in a nearby port with their cargo still intact. Everyone was filled with hope, and Beauty's sisters were convinced they would be rich again.
Bring us dresses of silk and some fine shoes, Father.
And a carriage to ride in, so that when we return to the city, everyone will marvel at us.
Very well. But what shall I bring you, Beauty?
Well, there is something I'd love to have. Please, Father, bring me back a rose. We never see any here.
Oh, what a stupid present.
I'll bring you back the very best rose, my dear.
But unfortunately for the merchant, the trip was a failure. The goods that were salvaged had been taken by the bill collectors, and there was nothing left. On the way back home, he lost his way and looked for shelter from a violent storm. Cold, tired, and hungry, he came upon a brightly lighted palace.
Perhaps the owner of this fine palace wouldn't mind allowing a tired and lost traveler a bit of warmth by his fire. Hello? Anybody home? Oh, my. Doesn't that look good? Well, I don't suppose I should help myself. On the other hand, perhaps this meal is meant for me.
The merchant ate everything on the table and then became very sleepy.
Perhaps when I awake, the kind master of this palace will have returned, and I can thank him for his hospitality.
The next morning, the merchant hurried into the garden. Remembering Beauty's wish for a single rose, and without thinking anything wrong, he broke one off from the bush.
How dare you steal one of my roses?
Please, master, had I known that this rose was so precious to you, I never would have taken it.
I gave you food and shelter, but you repay this by stealing from me. Prepare to die for your thievery.
Hoping the beast would take pity on him, he told his story, ending with Beauty's request for a single rose.
If your daughter loves you enough to come in your place, I will keep her here with me and let you go free.
I would never allow my daughter to take my place. Kill me if you must.
No, it must be your daughter's choice. If she will not come, then you must return and take your punishment.
I understand.
Take the chest of silver I have left for you. You will find your horse waiting at the gate. But remember, if you do not return, I will hunt you down.
When the merchant told his children of the bargain he had made, Beauty's sisters only thought about how rich they were. They wouldn't miss her at all.
It is my fault that all this has happened, Father. I will stay with the beast.
Despite his pleas for her not to go, Beauty returned to the palace with her father.
How kind this lord is, to have thought of all our needs.
Good evening, merchant. It was good of you to come as we agreed.
How very frightening he is. And yet his eyes are so sad.
You are certainly a brave young woman, Beauty. She must love you dearly, merchant, to have come.
I plead with you to spare her, Beast. Please, take me in her place.
Beauty, will you remain with me in my palace?
Yes, my lord. I will.
Good! In this palace, you alone are the mistress. You may refer to me as Beast, for that is what I am. I ask only that we speak the truth here. And you, merchant, you shall leave in the morning and take with you 3 chests of gold. And now, I bid you good night.
In the morning, Beauty said goodbye to her father and was then alone. She went to her room, and there she found beautiful clothes and jewels of every kind.
The Beast will be pleased to see me wearing his gifts. Poor Beast, with all his wealth and love of beautiful things, he is wretched and lonely. I will try to help him be happy. Little bird, you are like me. I will never leave this palace either. Where do you spend your days, Beast?
Do not ask me, Beauty.
Please, tell me what you do.
I hunt. I prowl the woods for prey. I am an animal, after all. I must kill for my meat. Unlike you, I cannot eat gracefully.
How very sad.
Beauty stopped asking questions that might hurt or embarrass the Beast, and as time passed, she found him so kind that her fear soon vanished.
Tell me, Beauty, will you be my wife?
No, Beast. I am sorry, but though you are kind and have treated me fairly, I can never be your wife, because I do not love you.
Each night, when Beauty went to bed, her sleep was filled with the same dream. She would be in a garden of the palace, and a handsome young prince would come to her.
Someday, Beauty, we will be together always.
He seemed familiar to Beauty, although she knew she had never seen him. The next night, Beauty was eager to dream of her prince, but he did not appear.
Where are you, my prince?
How blind you are. Happiness comes from seeing what does not always lie on the surface. Look deep into the beauty of others to find your own happiness.
Good morning, little bird. Oh, Father, you are ill.
It is a magic mirror, Beauty. If one is pure of heart, one can see into it. If you have seen your father there, then he must truly be ill.
Please, Beast, let me go to him. If I could see him just for a little while, I know he would be better.
You are a good daughter, Beauty. I cannot refuse you anything, for I am your slave. Your wish will be granted. But please, remember your poor Beast who loves you. Return to me in 3 weeks.
Oh, Beast, thank you.
Beauty, will you be my wife when you return?
No, Beast. I am sorry. I can never be your wife because I do not love you.
Then goodbye, Beauty. But remember your promise to return, for I cannot live without you.
Special Delivery will be back after these messages. We now return to Misunderstood Monsters.
Father was indeed very ill, But as soon as she was there and caring for him, he began to recover. Beauty's sisters were envious of how well she looked and resented that she lived in a palace like a queen. Her two sisters were tired of looking after her father, so they induced Beauty to stay beyond the 3 weeks she had promised. They laughed, thinking how angry the beast would be for disobeying him. Even though her father was almost able to take care of himself, Beauty's sisters kept delaying her return to the beast. Then Beauty had another dream.
Oh, Beast, what has happened? Oh, my poor Beast, how awful I have been. How could I have betrayed my promise to you when you have been so kind? I must return to the Beast, Father. Please understand.
Yes, Beauty. You must go. I'm feeling better now.
Oh, Beast, Beast! Oh, my poor Beast. This is my fault for leaving you. Please recover. If you do, I swear to be your wife. I do love you. My prince!
At last, Beauty understood the mystery of her dreams. The prince and the beast were one, and her love has saved them both from their spell.
So what you're trying to say is that if you're a good person on the inside, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside.
Now you've got it.
Gee, I guess I'm not a monster after all. Am I?
No, you're not a monster, Stanley. But it's up to you to show everyone else, now that you know it.
Yeah. Why, I'll just be myself.
That's the right attitude, Stanley.
When I came in here, you told me I was between where I wanted to be and not where I should be. Where am I now?
You're in the right place, Stanley. Just where you should be.
Yeah, I am, aren't I? I like who I am. I'm gonna play the piano. I hate baseball! Ooh, sorry.
Well, that's all right, Stanley. You deserve to be happy.
Can I leave now?
Of course. There's nothing more I can tell you.
You there?
Trust me.
If you say so.
Stanley, you forgot your glove.
Thanks for everything. Goodbye. No, thanks. I'm gonna go home and practice my piano. Oh, come on, man. Alan twisted his ankle and we need a second baseman. Hey, thought you said I couldn't catch the ball. Oh, man, can't you take a joke? Come on, Stanley. We need one more out. Please? Just for today, man. Yeah, please. Come on. All right, I'll play. Yeah, all right.
Strike two.
Hey, man, we have another game tomorrow. Same time. See you then, okay? Thanks. But first, I've got to practice my piano. See you guys around. Wow. Where am I?
You're nowhere, Millicent.
Nowhere?
You're between where you want to be and not where you should be. But I have 3 books for you to read that will help. Creole by Stephen Cosgrove, The Reluctant Dragon by Kenneth Graham, and Beauty and the Beast by Mary Ann Mayer.